And I stand before you tonight thanks to the power of prayer and the grace of Almighty God. As I think you can see, I've recovered well and, in fact, just took off the last bandage off of my ear.
Looking good, Mr. President. It was, unfortunately, a bullet that hit my ear and hit it hard. There was no glass, there was no shrapnel. The hospital called it a bullet wound to the ear.
I'm gonna chase our witnesses like they stole Christmas. I'm gonna do everything in my power to get to the bottom of it.
The FBI finally confirms Trump was hit with a bullet. About time. Thanks, Christopher Wray, for trying to muck everything up with your congressional testimony where you said it might be glass or shrapnel from something else. Now, they're still being a little bit squirrely about this whole thing, saying it could be bullet or a piece of a bullet, like the bullet exploded in the barrel or hit something and then exploded and it was still the bullet, so it wasn't shrapnel from something else. They really are just having a hard time admitting Trump got shot in the head. He did, but they're one step closer. Now no one on the left can say, well, it wasn't a bullet. He definitely got hit with a bullet. Secret Service said that. Photos show that. Trump's doctor said that. The initial hospital reports said that. Now FBI's saying that as well. FBI confirms that a bullet struck Trump's ear during the assassination attempt. And this just came out. They dropped this on the end of the week news drop. Okay, fine, it was a bullet. Why didn't you say that during testimony, Chris? For someone who screams about conspiracy theories and misinformation and disinformation, you spread it intentionally. You're the FBI director. Glass or shrapnel, give me a break. In congressional testimony this week, Wray had said that there's some question about whether or not it's bullet or shrapnel. No, there wasn't. Here's what they came out on Friday, right? News drop Friday. They confirmed, it's confirmed that a bullet or fragments of a bullet struck Trump's ear during an assassination attempt. Where did the fragments come from? So what struck former President Trump in the ear was a bullet, whether whole or fragmented into smaller pieces, was fired from the subject's rifle. Statement comes 2 days after Wray, loser, who Trump nominated, told House lawmakers, there's some question about this, whether or not it's a bullet or shrapnel, that hit his ear. The director's remarks before a House committee caused a ruckus out there. They say Trump hadn't released any medical records. Ronnie Jackson did release a note that we read. And Trump wrote, well, I guess that's the best apology that we're going to get from Christopher Wray. I guess we'll take it. Brett Baer from Fox reported on this, Trump confirming this untruth. FBI statement out this hour, and it's attributable to the agency, okay? The cowardly Christopher Wray will not come out and own it himself. So the agency just reported on this. What struck former President Trump in the ear was a bullet, whether whole or fragmented into smaller pieces, fired from the deceased subject's rifle. But don't tell him I said that, says the FBI. Just attribute it to the whole building. Anyone want to come out and claim that? No, because they're all mad about it. Yeah, I guess he was hit with a bullet. We'll say maybe it was a fragment. Okay, where'd the other fragments go? And would you like to be shot with a bullet fragment? As though that makes a difference? It's wild. So Trump says, I assume that's the best apology we'll get from the cowardly director Wray, but it is fully accepted. Trump came out and spoke at a Turning Point event and revealed that his ear has now been freed from the bandages inflicted after he was attacked on the J13 election catastrophe enabled by Biden's Secret Service. Here's Trump.
And I stand before you tonight thanks to the power of prayer and the grace of Almighty God. As I think you can see, I've recovered well and, in fact, just took off the last bandage off of my ear.
Looking good, Mr. President. Now you can see we got a little bit of the hair droop over there, so can't see it quite too well, but we're glad it's off, Mr. President. Healed like Wolverine from the X-Men. Shot in the head, bullet in the head, bandage already off. Amazing.
She was a bum 3 weeks ago.
Kamala.
A failed vice president and a failed administration with millions of people crossing, and she was the border czar. She will try as hard as she can to add as many justices as possible to the U.S. Supreme Court. We don't want that to happen, do we? In other words, she wants to pack the court, which is their #1 agenda. I appointed nearly 300 judges to defend the law and the Constitution as written. I defended this law, this Constitution. Then they say, he is not for democracy. I took a bullet for democracy.
Heck yeah, baby. Right in the ear, in the head, in the face. And now it's confirmed it was a bullet. And so we're asking ourselves, how'd that healing work out? How's it look? Here is the president down at Mar-a-Lago. Wow, look at that. Absolutely amazing, Mr. President. Healed, tremendous care from his medical team. Amazing. Looking good, looking strong, looking sharp. Bullet in the head, not even phased. Here's another angle. Healed up like he's a 21-year-old man. All right, the president said not that anyone doubted it, but in order to rid our country of the political statement put out by the FBI, and in between fighting for the safety and security of those burning down our beautiful American flags and right now spraying our beautiful limestone monuments in D.C., as we saw that there were the protesters torching D.C. and not being charged with crimes, this is a picture of the bullet right after piercing my ear, just to confirm this. And perhaps FBI Director Wray, if he looks at it, will notice that there is no shrapnel or glass flying through the ear, only a blood-stained bullet. It's also damaging to the great people that work in the FBI. As the New York Times reported, other bullets came very close. Nobody ever called, even out of curiosity, from the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Insurrection. Well done, Mr. President. P.S. After the great Supreme Court decision, when are the hunted down J6 hostages going to be released? And when are yesterday's vandals and flag burners going to be put in prison? Good question, Mr. President. Not anytime soon. So that was one statement. And in the aftermath of the FBI finally realizing it was a bullet, Trump says, guess what, Secret Service? I know you're trying to taper down our outdoor rallies, but that's not going to happen. We're going back outside. Trump reports, I will continue to do outdoor rallies, and Secret Service has agreed to substantially step up their operation. They are very capable of doing so. No one can ever be allowed to stop or impede free speech or gathering. Boom, right outside, Mr. President. Will somebody please check the roofs and fly a drone? Call me. I can walk on roofs, even if they're sloped. I've done it many times. It's been a couple years, but I've done it. Pretty sure I can do it again. And I'll learn how to fly a drone if you want. All right, so he's going back outside. We're happy to hear that. And not only that, he's also going to Butler, Pennsylvania, baby, for a big, beautiful rally. I will be going back to Butler, Pennsylvania for a big, beautiful rally, honoring the soul of our beloved firefighting hero, Corey, and those brave patriots injured 2 weeks ago. What a day it will be. Fight, fight, fight. Stay tuned for details. Now, even Lindsey Graham is telling Christopher Wray to get his act together, and he wanted Christopher Wray to correct the testimony. I don't know if this will be sufficient or not. Graham sent this letter simultaneous with Wray's non-response. He sent the FBI out to say, okay, fine, it's a bullet, fine. Wray didn't correct it. He just still hiding there saying, well, maybe it was glass. That's our FBI director, real smart dude. He says here, from Lindsey Graham, amazing, says, Dear Director Wray, as ranking member of the Senate Committee on the Judiciary, I believe it's very important for you to correct your testimony before Congress on Wednesday, when you indicated that it's uncertain whether President Trump was hit by a bullet, glass, or shrapnel. It's very clear to everyone that President Trump survived an assassination attempt by millimeters, as the attempted assassin's bullet ripped the upper part of his ear. This was made clear in briefings my office received and should not be a point of contention. Therefore, I urge you, FBI Director Wray, to immediately correct your statement and acknowledge that President Trump was hit by a bullet rather than glass or shrapnel. As head of the FBI, you should not be creating confusion about such matters, as it further undercuts the agency's credibility with millions of Americans. Please correct this statement immediately. Sincerely, Lindsey Graham, ranking member. Now, I think they were probably sending letters, or sending statements back and forth, so he sent that over. Maybe it came before Director Wray and the FBI came out with their little stupid statement. Well, it might be fragments of a bullet. Yeah. Trump says this guy's an idiot. Wray told Congress yesterday he wasn't even sure if it was shrapnel, glass, or a bullet. He says the FBI never even checked, but he was sure that crooked Joe Biden was physically and cognitively uneventful. Okay, wrong. That's why he knows nothing about the terrorists or other criminals pouring into our country at record levels. His only focus is destroying J6 patriots, raiding Mar-a-Lago, saving radical left lunatics like the ones in D.C. now burning American flags and spray painting all over our great national monuments with zero retribution at all. No, it was unfortunately a bullet that hit my ear and hit it hard. There was no glass, there was no shrapnel. The hospital called it a bullet wound to the ear, and that is what it was. No wonder the once storied FBI has lost the confidence of America from the president. Now, the Senate is going to be digging into this, and here is what Senator John Kennedy had to say.
Senator, we have so much to talk about, but I also know this is important. Senator Durbin says that Congress has a responsibility to get to the bottom of the Secret Service how they failed to protect President Trump. It seems to be bipartisan. They announced a joint Judiciary Committee classified briefing. So it'll be a hearing on the Trump assassination attempt. You're on the Senate Judiciary Committee. When is this going to happen? What questions do you have?
I'm going to chase our witnesses like they stole Christmas. I'm going to do everything in my power to get to the bottom of it. So far, we think that the shooter may not have been left wing or right wing, but a broken wing. But that's no excuse. There were huge lapses by Secret Service. We need, as head of our Secret Service, a wolf. We had a poodle. She resigned. That's good. But she's going to be back in front of us.
That's good news. We're looking forward to hearing what the Senate will get into on this. We know that Senator Josh Hawley and Ron Johnson have been very aggressive, and the Senate has a lot of power and sway. Unfortunately, it's controlled by the Democrats, who are in charge of the committees. So we're looking forward to it.